Dear learner, welcome in my lecture of Programming in Java. Today I will discuss about creating and executing SQL statements, select and insert statement. I am Dr. Ashutosh Kumar Bhatt, Associate Professor, School of Computer Science and IT, Uttarakhand Open University, Haldwani. So the learning objective of this lecture, basic step to use database in Java, select SQL statement, get result set, scrollable and updatable result set, executing SQL statement. We have discussed in previous lecture about the connection statement, about the driver management and how to write program for database connectivity. So starting this lecture, the basic step to use database in Java. So whenever we have to make a connection with the database in Java, so we have these 5 steps which we have already discussed in the previous lecture. So again I am discussing the same. The first of all, we establish the connection, and the second one is to create JDBC statement, third one is to execute SQL statement, and fourth is get result set, and number 5 close the connection. So we will focus today execute SQL statement as well as get result set. So now these are the steps how to make database connection. So first of all, we require driver manager, then driver, then connection, then statement, then metadata, result set, etc. So the first of all, this driver manager. Driver manager loads database driver and manages connection between application and driver. So this is the first one, the driver manager. So always we require the driver. So first of all, when we have to connect with any database, either it is SQL or Oracle, so we require the database. The second one is the driver translate API call into operation for the specific database, and third one is the connection. So it creates the session between application and data source, and fourth one is the statements, SQL statement to perform query or update, and fourth one that is called metadata, information about return data, database and driver. So we can also use this metadata. Many times we require information about the table, about the structure of table, then we require this metadata. And finally result set. So this is the logical set of the column and row of data returned by executing a statement. So result set is important for this lecture today. So this is the flow chart. So first of all, we require this driver manager, then we create connection. So first we load the driver manager, we load the driver. After loading the driver, we require to create a connection and establishing a link with the database, creating a link with the database. Then again we prepare the statement. Statement may be select statement, maybe create statement, update statement, delete statement. Accordingly we write the statement. Suppose we have to create a table, then we will use here create statement. Suppose we have to fetch the data from a table, then we require here select statement. To update any data in the table, then we require update, as well as delete, as well as modify. So different statements are there. And then finally we have this result set. So result set, basically this result set is used in case of the select statement. So when we are using the select statement, then we require result set class. So this is very important class, result set class. So in this result set we store data into row and column manner, and same time we require driver as well as database. So these are directly connected with the database. So this is the flow chart of this database connectivity. Now coming again to establish the connection. So when we start the program, then we require import java.sql.star. So this is the import statement. This is the first import statement. So before writing any database connectivity program, we write this statement: import java.sql.star. So SQL is a package, Java is also a package. So inside SQL package, all the classes as well as package we are importing in our program. Load the vendor specific driver. So driver may be driver of Oracle, driver of SQL, driver of Sybase, DBase. So many drivers are there. So vendor specific. Suppose we are connecting with the Oracle. So specifically we will use here oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. In case of SQL, so the different name will be mentioned here. So the class dot for name is a function, and class, under the class we are using this for name function, and in this for name function we are writing the name of this driver. Dynamically load a driver class for a Oracle database. So this is for dynamically loading a driver class. So loading driver is very important, whatever the vendor we are choosing here. Then second step is the making connection. So you can see here in this flow chart, the first one is the driver manager and second one is the connection. So for creating connection, we require connection class, connection con is the object of this connection class. Connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. So driver manager is again class, and inside this we have this get connection function. So we are writing this get connection function. So this get connection function having three arguments. The first argument is basically this is the connection string. So in this case it is written here JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon @ Oracle -prod colon 1521. So this 1521 means 1521. So this is port number. So by this port we are connecting our database with our system, and thin is a DSN name. So accordingly we are writing here. So this is the connection string, and you can find this, you can Google this connection string in case of SQL. So it may be different in case of the SQL. And the second argument, that is username, and third argument, that is password. Suppose we are using MS Access as a database, then in that case we will not write this username and password, because in case of MS Access there is no username as well as password. So we will make it blank. We will write here space under double quotes, comma, space under double quotes in case of the password. So these are the three arguments. So we must have to write these three arguments in case of Oracle, but in case of MS Access we will keep it blank. So establish connection to a database by obtaining the connection object. So this is the second step, making a connection. The first step loading the driver, and second step making the connection. Now see the program for this connection. Regarding the connection creation, this is the code example, and this is the Oracle program. So again you can see here try. Inside try block we can use exception handling with this JDBC ODBC. So that's why we have mentioned here try block. Try class dot for name oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. So Oracle is a package, JDBC is also package, driver is a package, and inside these three packages we have Oracle driver named class. So this is the string, this is the connection string, and we have not mentioned here username and password. Later on it will it require username and password, but without username and password Oracle will not open the default password, that is called tiger, and system manager in case of the server. Otherwise we can write the different username and password as well. So string source we have mentioned here, the second variable, string variable. Source URL, this is the variable which is defined by the user, and string source URL equals to JDBC full colon Oracle thin colon @ DELI LAH dot BUS dot ALBANY dot EDU colon 1521 colon data DA tab screen. So this is the connection string source URL. So this is the address of the database where we have to find this database. So it is stored in the source URL. It is represented by the object source URL. Now in third line you can see here connection, database connection. So database connection is the variable name. Connection is a class equals to driver manager dot get connection source URL comma user comma password. So username as well as password we will provide here. So user is a variable and password is a variable. So the value of user will be different and value of password will be different. And the fourth line system.out.println connected connection. So this is the message. So if connection everything will be successfully executed, then the message connection connected connection will be displayed. And you can see here catch block catch class not found exception. Suppose any class like connection class, like class and like this driver manager class. So if any class is not found, then automatically it will execute this catch class catch block. It will move to this catch block class not found exception CNFE, and the message accordingly system.out.println CNFE. So accordingly this recorded or default message will be displayed over our screen if any class not found. If any class during the execution, during the program running process, if class not available, then it will display accordingly this it will move to this catch block and display the message accordingly. And another catch block, that is SQL exception, SQLE, the object of this SQL exception. So any other type of error it will move to this SQL exception, and accordingly system.out.println will display this SQLE, the problem which may be different than this class not found exception. So these are two catch block are here, and we can mention more catch block in this program. And this is the complete connectivity, complete data connection establishing code in JDBC. So now see the another slide. Here you can see here statement class. So after loading the driver and then making the connection, see the flow chart again. First of all we will load the driver and then we will make the connection and then we will write the send statement. So the next one is the creating statement. So first of all we will create the blank statement stmt equals to con dot create statement, and this statement is blank, nothing is written inside this statement. Creates a statement object for sending SQL statement to the database. So creates statement object. So this stmt is a object of statement class, this create statement class, and for sending SQL statement to the database. Now see again this piece of this code getting data from the table. So here the fourth step, this is the third, create statement is the third step. See again this flow chart where the first one is the driver manager, loading driver manager, and second one is the making connection, and third one is the writing this statement, and this is initially it is blank and then later on we will write the statement, and the fourth one is the result set. So this one is important, so we will focus today this result set. So here see again the result set rs equals to statement dot execute query. So in the previous slide we have mentioned this statement stmt equals to con dot create statement, and now here we are writing execute query. So statement rs equals to stmt dot execute query, and inside bracket we have mentioned here select coffee name cof underscore name comma price from coffee table. So from coffee, from after from we will write this table name. So coffees is a table name, and COF underscore name means coffee name and its price. The second field is the price. So we are writing here select name of coffee, COF underscore name and price from coffee table. And this statement, when this statement will execute, then it will return all the coffee, all the record of this coffee table and with their coffee name and price. So suppose in a table, coffee table, we have 15 record, then in the second half of this program, this slide, while loop is there. So suppose we have 15 record, then this while loop will execute, will iterate 15 times. So rs.next, here we have mentioned here rs.next, string s equals to rs.get string coffee name, and float n equals to rs.get float price. So by writing this get string, get float, get integer, we will access the value of the field. Coffee name is a string field, so we are writing here get string, and price is a floating type value, price variable will store floating type value, then we are writing here get float. So coffee name as well as price we are extracting by this get string as well as get float function, and we are storing it to separate two variable, that is s and n. S is a string type variable, n is a float type variable. So we have there two variable s and n, and from the table we have already mentioned select statement, and by using this select statement we are extracting all the coffee, all the record of coffee table with their coffee name and price, and we are storing the stored data of this coffee table. We are given the reference to rs, so rs will represent this whole table data, and rs.next will move to the next line, and it will move up to the time when it is true. Suppose rs.next returns false value, then it means all the data has been already read by this while loop. So suppose the next data will come, so it will return 1. Suppose last data, after last data it will return 0 because there is no data. So in that case it will be false while loop. So the loop will execute, will run up to it becomes false. So the last statement you can see here, system.out.println s plus space plus n. So s is a coffee name and n is a that is price. So s plus double quotes plus n. So this is the complete program. Now see the another program, another which is based on this table. This is a student table where name and marks are two field, and we have two record in this table, and three field. We will use name and marks, these two fields, but this table having three columns, and the first column name is SSN, and the second column where the data which is represented by the name, and third one is the marks column. So we have three column, means three field. So this is the student table, and now we have to extract data from this table. So when we will extract data, two record will be extracted. Suppose we are using any loop, then loop will run 2 times. Suppose we have 200 data, then loop will run 200 times. So this way we can fetch the data. So this is the method of this program. Now see the next slide. In this slide we have one string variable query student, and in this query student variable we have mentioned select asterisk from student. So this is student table, and select asterisk means all the data from this student table we are extracting. So this table having two record, two data, so the two data, two row will be extracted from here, and these two data, two row will be transferred to the query student. It will be referenced by this query student. So query student is a variable of string class. Now second line, result set rs equals to statement.execute query, and this query student. So in the previous line we have mentioned only the query, but in this next line we are executing this query student is a variable which is string type variable, and under this variable we have this query select asterisk from student, and here execute query is a function, and inside this function we will mention here query statement, yani means previous line will be mentioned here. It will execute that the same statement select asterisk from student, and it will be referenced by the rs. Now it is referenced by the rs instead of this query student. So rs means all the record from the student table. And now see the while loop, while rs dot next. So again this loop will run. How many time it will run? We can say it will run, in this case it will run 2 times. Suppose we have 200 record, then it will execute 200 times. So as we are seeing here, there are 3 fields: SSN, name and marks are 3 fields of this student table. So we have 3 variables inside this while loop. See, integer SSN and string name, and third integer marks. The first one is the SSN equals to rs dot get integer SSN. So get integer means we are getting the integer value of SSN field, because SSN is a integer, it will store integer data. So we will write here get integer. And the second line inside this while loop, you can see here string name equals to rs dot get string name. So all the name will be string type, so we will use here rs dot get string, and the value of name field we will extract from here, and it will be transferred to the name variable. And third line rs dot get integer marks. So marks will be extracted, and marks, it will read marks get integer marks, rs dot get integer marks. Marks again integer type. You can see here 90 and 95 both are the integer type. So again we will write here get integer marks, rs dot get integer marks, and will store on the marks variable, integer marks variable. Now see this program. This is the complete program of database connectivity of select statement. So the first line, from the first line we have this import java.sql.star. Always we will mention here, always we will write java.sql.star in case of database connectivity. Then we will write import java.util.star, means any utility type function will be used directly by writing this import statement, import java.util.star. Otherwise the function or classes which is inside this util will not be directly used here due to this copyright issue. Now see the class msexe. So this is the class, and public static void main string args. This is the starting of program. Then we have try block, and inside try block you can see class dot for name, and here sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. Again same statement is written here. So we have mentioned here this driver name sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. This string will be different in case of SQL driver. So the name will be changed in place of this one. And the second statement, that is connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection, and connection string is mentioned here. This JDBC ODBC full colon main. And third statement st equals to con dot create statement, which is blank state con dot create statement, and inside the bracket we have not mentioned, we have not written anything. The fourth statement, that is result at rs equals to st dot execute query, because statement we have already created which is blank, so we will execute that statement. So we will write here st is a reference of this create statement. So st dot execute query, and here select asterisk from name of file is student. So this is the student file, this is student table. So directly from this student table we are extracting value. We are writing here execute query select asterisk from student, and then while loop, and this loop will run the time up to the number of record, it is equal to the number of row in the file. Suppose file having 5 rows, then it will execute 5 times, while rs.next 5 times it will be executed. And system.out.println rs.getString name. First of all, we are extracting name because name is a string type. See the file again, name is a string type, and then we are extracting marks. Marks is a integer type. So here name and then blank space system.out.println blank space, and then system.out.println rs.getString roll number. So we are extracting roll number. So this is again marks. So it will be mentioned here marks, and then system.out.println next line. We will move to the next line. So get string roll, in place of roll we will write here marks, if we are using this table. So this student table, so marks will be displayed over here. So Java database connectivity with storing image in database, result set manipulation, result set metadata. So these all are very important part of this lecture. Statement stmt equals to this con.create statement. So there are some more updation here, some advanced command where we can do some more things in this. So you can see here statement stmt equals to con.create statement, result set dot type scroll insensitive, result set conquer read only. So it means from the result set we can only read the data. Result set dot conquer read only, conquer underscore read only. So it means the result set will be the data inside the result set we can only read, we cannot update it. So we can write this one also, this argument also. Initially create statement is blank. Here you can see con.create statement, there is no value inside the bracket, blank argument. Also you can see in this one also representing here statement equals to stmt equals to con.create statement. So this is blank, but here we are writing two arguments. The first argument type scroll insensitive means we can scroll it upward direction as well as backward downward direction. And the second one is result set dot conquer read only means only we can read the data, we cannot change it. So we can write these two arguments in place of the blank. And now see the string query equals to select student from class where. So we can write where clause, where type equals to not sleeping. So this is the type is a field where not sleeping is the value. So we are, if we are comparing with the not sleeping, if not sleeping then it will display the name of student, otherwise it will not display the name of student. Suppose there is no student whose type is not sleeping, then it will return blank value, it will return nothing. But suppose 5 students who are not sleeping, then it will return 5 records from the table student. Select student from class, class is a table name, and select the student name, and where is a condition. After where we will write the condition. So result set rs equals to stmt dot execute query. Query will be executed and the query is mentioned in the above line, and this query will execute it, select student from class where type equals to not sleeping. So this is executed by this execute query statement. And now you can see these 4 students. rs dot previous, because we have mentioned here type scroll insensitive, so it means we can move it forward direction as well as backward direction. So previous, rs dot previous record. rs dot relative -5 means go back 5 record back. rs dot relative 7, so it will move forward direction 7 record 7 row forward direction. So type scroll insensitive means we can scroll it upward direction, forward direction as well as backward direction. And the last one is rs dot absolute 100, so it will move in the 100 record. So this is scrollable result set, you can see here. Now see some update statement also. So we can use some update statement also. So this is again this con dot create statement, result set dot the underscore result set dot type forward only. So it will move forward direction, it will not execute the previous function. In the backward direction it will not move. So in the previous one, type scroll insensitive means we can move forward as well as backward direction, but here we can move only forward direction. And result set dot conquer updatable means we can change the result also, but in the previous one, conquer read only means we can only read, we cannot change it. Here we can change it. So the query is string query equals to select student grade from class. So we are finding two fields, student as well as grade, from the class file, and we are giving here condition where type equals to really listening this presentation. So suppose this is the sentence which is mentioned in the type field in the class table. So it will match with this string. If it is matching with the string, then it will return, otherwise it will not return any value. So this is the second statement, query statement, and result set rs equals to stmt dot execute query. So this query which is in the previous line, we have written this query, so it is executed, and then accordingly rs result set rs, the value of rs, the rs will reference it its result. And now this while loop rs dot next. So accordingly the record which is collected in this rs, so accordingly the while loop will execute rs dot next, and we have the variable grade, integer grade equals to rs dot get integer grade. So we will find the grade, and rs dot update integer grade field comma grade plus 100. Suppose whatever the grade we have find it, so it will be incremented by 10, and it will again it will update on table also. So the third line rs dot update row, so by this it will update also. So we have mentioned here result set dot conquer updatable, so that's why we can update same time as we read the data as well as we can update the data. But in the previous one we can only conquer read only, we can only read, we cannot change the data. So these are the main programs. So the learning outcome of this lecture is to understand select SQL statement along with the get result set. So this is very important. And scrollable and updatable result set, executing SQL statement. So these topic we have learned in detail, and we can implement them after this, after listening this lecture. And in the next lecture we will discuss about the prepared statement as well as how to store image in the database in this which is related to this lecture. So thank you learner, thank you very much.